My name is Teresa, 35 years old, and a devoted single mom to my 8-year-old daughter Lily. We never miss the annual family gathering at my mom's place. But this time during dinner, I noticed Lily was gone too long. I found her in the upstairs bathroom, sobbing, her long blonde hair shaved off. My sister, Samantha, stood there, filming and laughing. Just a prank, she smirked. Something in me broke. Have you ever faced a family to protect your child? Como bilo. Subscribe to learn how I ensured Samantha would never hurt Lily again. Raising Lily alone since my divorce from Kevin 5 years ago has been my biggest joy and challenge. It was tough, but we've built a loving, stable home despite his limited role. Lily's a gentle, creative spirit who adores sketching ballet. Since age 4, she's grown her stunning blonde hair. It was her signature, boosting her confidence. She'd flip it proudly or twirl it while thinking. It flowed like sunlight, and she lit up when complimented. My bond with Samantha, my sister, has always been rocky. 32, 3 years younger, she both envied and admired me. Growing up, she'd snag my clothes, copy my hairstyles, and date guys I liked. Her pranks were cruel. At 16, she slashed my prom dress the night before. 20, she lied to my college boyfriend about me cheating, breaking us up. At my wedding, she accidentally spilled wine on my dress, barely hiding her grin. Mom Margaret always brushed it off. "You're overreacting," she'd say. "Samantha's just playful. She loves you." Dad Thomas stayed quiet, avoiding the clash between his wife and daughters. That hasn't changed in 30 years. Since Lily's birth, I've dreaded family gatherings but went, thinking family ties mattered for her. I wanted her to know her grandparents, Samantha, and cousins, Zach and Abby, aged 10 and 7. The night before the gathering, I braided Lily's hair for an hour into a design she loved from a magazine. She sat on her purple stool, buzzing about showing her cousins her braids and handmade bracelets. "Will Aunt Samantha like my hair?" she asked innocently. I paused, recalling last Thanksgiving when Samantha accidentally stained Lily's favorite dress with cranberry sauce. Or at Christmas when she gave Zach and Abby fancy gaming systems but handed Lily a coloring book, smirking at me. "Everyone will love it," I said, sidestepping. "If anyone upsets you, come to me, okay?" "Okay, Mommy," she said seriously. "It'll be fun." Zach's showing me his treehouse. Her excited face in the mirror, eyes shining, eased my fears. Samantha wouldn't target an 8-year-old, right? I vowed her sly jabs wouldn't ruin our day. I was so wrong. Took 45 minutes to drive to Mom's suburban home with Lily singing the whole way. Margaret and Thomas live in the colonial house where Samantha and I grew up, with a worn swing set out back from 25 years ago. Cars filled the driveway when we arrived. Mom invited everyone, cousins, aunts, uncles, making it a reunion. Balloons lined the mailbox, and a family gathering banner hung over the door. Mom loved her decorations. "Grandpa!" Lily shouted, spotting Dad at the patio grill. Despite his struggle with family drama, Thomas cherished Lily. "My butterfly," he called, dropping his tongs for a big hug. "Your hair's gorgeous." "Mom's work?" "Yep, a whole hour," Lily said, twirling her braids proudly. "Worth it." "You're a princess," he said, hugging me. "Good to see you, Teresa." The moms inside with appetizers. Aunt Patricia, Mom's sister, came out with lemonade. At 60, she's the calm one at these events. Her glance showed she got my unease. "Teresa, you look great," she said, hugging me. "Lily, those braids are amazing." "Teach me, Teresa." "Aunt Patricia, I made you this," Lily said, pulling out a beaded bracelet. "It's beautiful." "I'm wearing it now," Patricia said, sliding it on with a warm smile. The backyard hummed with familiar faces. Cousins I rarely see chatted in groups. Kids played tag by the oak tree. Lily saw Zach and Abby with water guns by the flower beds. "Can I join them, Mom?" she asked, bouncing. Sure, honey, watch your clothes, I said as she dashed off. Patricia linked arms with me. Let's get you a drink. You need one. Inside, Mom set out cheese and crackers on her best platter. 65, she still dyed her hair the same blonde as always. Her smile was forced. Teresa, there you are. Thought you weren't coming, she said, her tone sharp. We said noon, Mom. It's 12:15, I replied, kissing her cheek. Glad you made it. Samantha's late, Derek's work call, she said, fixing her apron. Lily here. With Zach and Abby, I said. They grow fast, she sighed. Zach's in advanced math, you know? Abby won a gymnastics contest. I nodded, used to hearing about Zach and Abby's wins. Mom never asked about Lily's ballet or top reading scores. The next hour was pleasant, catching up with relatives. At 1:30, Samantha's voice boomed, The party's here! She strutted in, expecting attention with her fancy blonde hair and designer clothes. Derek followed, holding a cake box, looking stressed. Teresa, Samantha said coolly, air-kissing near my cheek. Nice dress. New. Her tone hinted at a dig. Was it cheap? Good to see you, Samantha, I replied, brushing it off. Hi, Derek. Derek, a shy accountant always startled by Samantha's boldness, gave an awkward smile. Hey, Teresa. Where should I put this cake? I'll take it, Mom chimed in, grabbing the box like it was treasure. Samantha got it from that fancy French bakery. Cost a fortune. So thoughtful. I forced a smile as Mom whisked Samantha away, chatting about her landscaping project. Derek mumbled about grabbing a beer, leaving me with Aunt Patricia. Same old nonsense, Patricia whispered, making me grin for the first time that day. Lily burst through the back door, face glowing. Mom, Zach says there's a new game upstairs. Can I go? Before I could answer, Samantha appeared, hands on Zach's shoulders. Oh, yes. Zach's eager to show off his new video game system. All the kids are heading up. Her eyes flicked to Lily's braids, a strange look crossing her face. Fancy braids. Someone wants attention. Lily designed them, I said calmly. She's excited to show them off. I bet, Samantha said, smirking. Go on, kids. Abby, show Lily the way. Okay, Mom? Lily asked. I wanted to keep her close, but with relatives watching, I didn't want to seem paranoid. I wanted her to bond with her cousins. Sure, honey. Have fun. I watched her skip off, uneasy under Samantha's odd gaze. For half an hour, I relaxed, chatting about politics and family news. Dad was sharing a fishing story when I saw Samantha slip toward the stairs. A knot formed in my stomach, but I thought she was just checking on the kids. I should have listened to my gut. The house was too quiet for 8 kids upstairs. Usually, I'd hear laughter or arguments, but only a faint video game hum came through. While helping Aunt Patricia with dessert plates, she said something chilling. Samantha bought hair clippers yesterday. Said she'd cut Derek's hair to save money. Tricia shook her head. Odd, since she spent $200 on that cake. She's not frugal. My hands froze. Hair clippers? I saw them in her purse, Patricia added, eyeing me. You okay, Teresa? You're pale. I'm fine, I lied, mind racing. Lily's been upstairs a while. I need to check on her. Patricia nodded. Good call. Samantha's acting odd today. Heading to the stairs, Cousin Rachel stopped me. Heard about Samantha's job? She whispered. What job? Rachel looked surprised. She got fired from her marketing firm last month. Misused funds. Your mom said keep it quiet. I was stunned. Samantha bragged about a promotion online recently. A firing explained her tension and Derek's unease. My phone buzzed with texts, but I ignored them, anxious for Lily. In the living room, I overheard Mom whispering to Uncle Bill. Samantha's just in a rough spot. That company didn't value her. She's got better interviews lined up. Bill looked doubtful. Margaret, embezzlement's serious. Has she seen a lawyer? It's a misunderstanding, Mom insisted, spotting me. Teresa needs something? Checking on Lily, I said, acting unaware. They're fine playing games, she dismissed. Help with dinner dishes? In a minute. I haven't seen Lily in an hour. I moved on, seeing Derek by the window, avoiding my gaze, beer in hand, adding to my worry. Stairs, the hallway was silent, except for video game sounds from Zach's room. I peeked in, kids around the TV, no Lily. Where's Lily? I asked. My nephew barely glanced up. Dunno. Maybe with Abby. His vague answer set off alarms. I checked the guest room where the girls sometimes played. Empty. My old room, now an office. Nothing. Then I heard soft sobs from the bathroom. Lily, you in there? Called, knocking gently. Crying stopped, then a sniffle. Go away, Lily's voice broke. Honey, it's Mom. Open the door. No, she said, panicked. I don't want you to see. My heart raced. Lily, open it now or I'll get Grandpa's key. Samantha's voice startled me. What's the issue? She leaned against the wall, phone in hand, looking smug. Lily's upset, I snapped. What happened? Kids being dramatic, she shrugged. She's fine. Abby stepped out, looking guilty. Aunt Teresa, Samantha cut her off. Abby, tell Grandma we'll be down soon, she said sharply. Something was wrong. Lily, I'm coming in, I said firmly. The lock clicked. I opened the door and froze. Lily stood trembling, her head shaved, uneven stubble on her scalp. Her blonde hair lay scattered on the floor. Her red, swollen eyes met mine, full of shame and pain. I felt sick. Mommy, she whispered, tears streaming. I knelt, holding her shaking body. Lily, who did this? Samantha laughed behind me. Don't be dramatic, Teresa. It's just hair. It'll grow back. I turned, clutching Lily, seeing Samantha filming. You did this, I said, voice strange. She was too vain, Samantha said casually. Everyone fawns over her hair. Zach and Abby held her while I gave her a makeover. Got it all on video. She showed me, Lily struggling, Zach and Abby pinning her, crying, begging as Samantha shaved her head, laughing. Say bye to your princess hair. Adults gathered in the hallway. Dad pushed through, stopping short. Samantha, what have you done? He gasped. Just a prank, Dad, she said, rolling her eyes. Everyone's so sensitive. Some relatives looked shocked, others hid smirks as if it was a harmless joke, not an assault. Mom appeared, annoyed. What's going on? Dinner's cold. Look what Samantha did, I said, voice trembling, showing her Lily. Mom's face flickered with shock, then hardened. It's not pretty, but it'll grow back. Lily, stop crying. It's not proper. Proper, I repeated, stunned. Mom, they held her down and shaved her head. She's traumatized. I posted the video to the family chat, Samantha bragged. It's hilarious. She screamed like we were killing her. Lily hid her face in the towel I wrapped around her. You filmed it? Dad asked, shocked. Of course, Samantha smirked, looking at Lily. Now, maybe people will notice more than your hair. I saw it then, raw jealousy in her eyes, the same glare she gave me as a kid when I got praise. But now she'd hurt my innocent Lily. Did Zach and Abby hold her down? I asked, voice low and sharp. They were just playing, Samantha shrugged. Right, kids? Zach and Abby stood in the doorway, uneasy. Abby's eyes teared up. Lily screamed to stop, she whispered. I said we should, but Mom said she needed to toughen up. The bathroom felt too small, too hot. Lily's tears soaked my dress. 5 years of building her confidence, shattered by those meant to love her. Rage burned in me. This wasn't about hair, it was cruelty and power, enabled for years, letting Samantha think she could harm a child without consequence. I stood, keeping Lily close. The hallway crowd parted as I carried her to the stairs, my next steps clear. "Where are you going?" Samantha called, still filming. "Don't ruin dinner." I ignored her, focused on Lily's safety. Her small body shook, face hidden in my shoulder. "Teresa, you're overreacting," Mom said, following me down. "It was just a prank." Samantha meant no harm. I stopped at the stairs base, voice steady despite my anger. "A prank is a fake spider, Mom." This was assault. They pinned Lily down and shaved her head as she begged. The gathering froze, watching us. Aunt Patricia gasped beside me, seeing Lily's shaved head. "Oh, my poor girl," she whispered, touching Lily's back. Samantha sauntered down, filming. The videos got 20 likes in the family chat. It's a hit. Something broke in me. I handed Lily to Patricia and faced my sister. "Give me the phone. Now." "No way," she laughed, holding it high. "This could go viral. A spoiled princess gets a lesson." I lunged, but she dodged, laughing louder. "What's wrong, Teresa? Can't take a joke? Your princess will survive, unlike some of us in your shadow." "This isn't about our past," I hissed. "You assaulted my daughter." "Assault?" she scoffed. "It's a haircut she didn't want." You held her down as she screamed. I shot back. Mom stepped in. "Enough. You're ruining the day." "Teresa, clean Lily up." Samantha, put the phone away. "We're having dinner like normal." I stared, stunned. "You think we're staying?" "Don't be silly," Mom snapped. "I cooked all day." Behind her, Samantha showed the video to cousins, who hid smirks. Their laughter at Lily's pain was too much. "Take her outside," I told Patricia, nodding at Lily. "I'll grab our things." As Patricia led my crying daughter out, I turned to Samantha. She was gloating, showing Uncle Bill the video. "Listen to her scream, such a drama queen," she said. In 3 steps, I slapped her face, knocking the phone away. The room went silent. Samantha clutched her cheek, eyes wide, scared for a moment. "You crazy bitch," she gasped. "If you touch Lily again or share that video," I said, voice calm, "I'll press charges for assault on a minor. I'll get a restraining order and expose you." I grabbed her phone, deleted the video, and tossed it back. "It's in the cloud," she smirked. "Good," I said coldly. "Explain to the police why you kept evidence of assaulting a child." Mom rushed to Samantha, checking her cheek like she was dying. "How dare you hit her in my house? After all we've done for you and that child, what have you done for Lily?" I shot back. Ignored her, belittled her, and now defended her attacker? "Don't act so high and mighty," Mom snapped. "No one wanted that bastard child in our family. She's been drama since your pregnancy." The room froze, a dark secret spilled. Dad stepped forward, pale. "Margaret, stop," he said quietly. The words hit hard. "What did you say about my daughter?" Mom's eyes widened, but her pride held. "You heard me." Kevin doubted her paternity. That's why he's barely around. We accepted her despite the shame. I was speechless. Kevin and I were married when Lily was conceived. He never questioned her paternity. Mom had spun this lie to justify her distance. "That's not true," Samantha said, uneasy. "Kevin never said that." "He implied it," Mom insisted. "Why else would he abandon them?" "He didn't," I said, voice back. "We divorced because we grew apart. He sees Lily every other weekend. You know that." "Not for 6 months," Mom shot back. Convenient omission. Kevin's move to Seattle paused visits, but we managed with calls and summer plans. Mom twisted it into something cruel. I don't know what lies you believe, I said icily, but Lily's Kevin's daughter. Even if she weren't, she's mine. Your granddaughter. You've proved you don't deserve her. I turned to go, but Samantha blocked me, smirking. Saint Teresa, always the victim. Now we know why you guard her. Guilty conscience? I looked at her, feeling pity. You're so jealous you hurt an 8-year-old. What does that say about you? I take what I want, she snapped. Unlike you, hiding behind your daughter with your empty life. Dad stepped in. Enough, Samantha. Teresa, take Lily home. We'll talk later. Patricia appeared. Lily's in your car, she said softly. I'll get her backpack. As I gathered our things, Mom and Samantha whispered heatedly. Derek stood nearby, looking lost. I'm sorry, he said quietly. I didn't know she'd do this. I studied him. He seemed sorry. You knew about the clippers, I said. You knew something was up. He looked away. I thought it was for my haircut. She said it was to save money since she lost her job, I finished. He nodded, miserable. She's not coping well, Teresa. That's no excuse for hurting Lily, I said. I know, he agreed. I'll talk to her. I doubted it would help. Goodbye, Derek. I walked out, shutting the door firmly. In the car, Lily huddled under a blanket from the trunk, hiding her shaved head. Her swollen eyes and blotchy face showed her exhaustion. I'm sorry, Mommy, she whispered as I got in. I tried to stop them, but they were too strong. My heart broke again. Baby, this isn't your fault. You have nothing to apologize for. Driving away, I saw Mom and Samantha at the window. For the first time, I felt only cold resolve leaving my childhood home. No more tolerating toxic family. My focus was healing Lily and ensuring consequences for those responsible. The drive home was silent except for Lily's sniffles. She kept the blanket tight, refusing to look out at traffic lights. What if someone sees me? She whispered when I suggested dropping it. You look fine, I said, heart aching for her pain. But keep it if it helps for now. At home, our small house with its garden and wind chimes felt like a haven. I never want to go back there, Lily said as I unlocked the door. You won't, I promised. Not if you don't want to. Inside, Lily went to the bathroom. I followed, worried about her seeing her reflection. She lowered the blanket, touching the stubble where her hair once was. I look like an alien, she whispered, tears forming. I knelt beside her. You're my strong, beautiful girl who faced something awful, and I'm so sorry I wasn't there to protect you. Why did Aunt Samantha do this? She asked, voice small. Why does she hate me? How do you explain adult cruelty to a child? Your aunt has her own problems, I said carefully. This isn't about you. Some people hurt others when they feel bad inside. Grandma called me a bad name, Lily said. Bastard child. What's that? Rage surged, but I stayed calm for her. It's a mean, untrue word. Grandma was wrong to say it and wrong about everything today. Lily looked at me, seeming older than 8. Are they still our family? Do I have to call them Grandma, Grandpa, Aunt Samantha? No, I said firmly. Family is about love and respect, not just blood. They don't get to hurt you. I ran her a bath with lavender bubbles. While she soaked, I made 3 calls. First, to Megan, my lawyer friend. They did what? She gasped. That's assault on a minor. File a police report now. I will, I said. But Lily comes first. Next, Dr. Bennett, Lily's old psychologist, agreed to see us Monday. Document it all, she said. Photos of her head, write it down. Family betrayal is deeply traumatic. Last, I called Kevin. Despite Mom's lies, he never doubted Lily's paternity. Our divorce was about growing apart. He was in Seattle but stayed connected through calls and planned visits. When I told him, he was livid. I'm flying out tomorrow, he said. They're never near Lily again. Lily was out of the bath, in her favorite pajamas, sitting lost on her bed. Can I sleep with you? She asked. Of course. In my bed, my phone buzzed with messages from Mom, Dad, even Samantha. I turned it off. Tonight was for Lily. What about school? She whispered in the dark. They'll laugh. We'll figure it out, I said. Maybe a scarf or hat for now. Or you'll show everyone how brave you are. I'm not brave, she said, voice breaking. I cried and screamed. That doesn't mean you're not brave, I said, stroking her back. Bravery is going on despite fear or pain. You're the bravest person I know. She fell asleep, drained. I stayed awake, planning. By morning, I knew what to do. No more tolerating toxicity for family's sake. No more exposing Lily to disrespect. 7:30, the doorbell rang. I eased away from Lily's sleeping form to answer, expecting my parents. They stood on the porch, tired and nervous. Dad held a gift bag. What do you want? I asked, not inviting them in. We need to talk, Mom said, less sharp than usual. Yesterday got out of hand. Out of hand, I snapped. Your daughter assaulted my daughter. Please, Teresa, Dad said. Hear us out. We brought something for Lily. He offered the bag. Inside was a blonde synthetic wig. You think this fixes it? I asked, keeping my voice low for Lily. It's a start, Mom said. We feel awful. Do you? I challenged. Yesterday, you defended Samantha and insulted Lily. Mom looked ashamed. I was upset. I said things I didn't mean, like calling Lily a bastard child, questioning her paternity. That sounded like a long-held belief. I was wrong, Mom said, struggling. I'm sorry. On that fateful day, everything changed. I stood on my porch, facing my parents, their faces etched with fatigue from the night before. The air was thick with unspoken regrets, but their words revealed their true priorities. Mom's eyes pleaded as she said, She's your sister. Despite everything, she's family. I felt a chill run through me. How could she say that after what happened? She held down my child, I replied slowly, each word heavy with the weight of the betrayal, shaved her head while Lily screamed, and filmed it all for her twisted amusement. And now you want me to help her? Dad's voice was softer, almost broken. Please, Teresa. Samantha made a terrible mistake, but this social media storm could ruin her life forever. I looked at them then, really looked. Mom's desperation was manipulative, a familiar tactic to pull me back into line. Dad's face showed his eternal conflict, torn between right and wrong, always choosing peace over justice. For 35 years, I'd bent to please them, excusing Samantha's endless pranks, swallowing Mom's blatant favoritism, enduring the small cuts that added up to deep wounds, all for the illusion of family harmony. But standing there, with Lily's pain fresh in my mind, something inside me shifted irreversibly. The threads of obligation that had bound me snapped, leaving me free. I'm not helping Samantha avoid what she deserves, I said, my voice steady and firm. In fact, I'm heading to the police station today to file a report, and I'll consult a lawyer about a restraining order. Mom's expression hardened, her eyes narrowing. You'd send your own sister to jail over a haircut? The word haircut stung like a slap. I'd hold an adult accountable for assaulting a child, I countered. The fact that she's my sister doesn't excuse it. It makes her actions even more unforgivable. Think of what this will do to the family, Mom insisted, her voice rising with urgency. I am thinking of family, I replied, meeting her gaze without flinching. My family. Lily. She's the one who matters most to me in this entire world. Dad's quiet words cut through the tension. We're your family, too. A wave of sadness washed over me then, not for what I was losing, but for what I'd never truly had, a supportive family that put love first. You made your choice yesterday, I told them. When you defended Samantha instead of standing up for Lily, you made it crystal clear. Mom's face flushed. We're trying to make it right now. No, I said sharply. You're trying to fix things for Samantha. There's a world of difference. I thrust the gift bag back into Dad's hands. Lily doesn't need a wig to cover up what was done to her. She needs family who will love her fiercely and protect her no matter what. If you ever decide to be those people, we can talk. Until then, please just leave us alone. I closed the door with a gentle click, but it felt final. Leaning against it, I listened to their low, urgent voices fading as they walked away. When I turned, there was Lily, standing in the hallway in her soft pajamas, her shaved head exposed and vulnerable in the morning light. Was that Grandma and Grandpa? She asked, her voice small but steady. Yes, I admitted, refusing to lie to her even in this moment. They brought you a present, but I sent them away. I hope that's okay with you. She nodded solemnly, her eyes wise beyond her years. I don't want their presents. I just don't want to feel scared anymore. My heart swelled as I crossed the room and pulled her into my arms, holding her close. You won't have to, baby. Things are going to be different from now on. I promise you that. As I held her, inhaling the faint scent of her lavender shampoo from last night's bath, I knew my promise wasn't hollow. Something profound had shattered yesterday, not just the fragile ties with my extended family, but the chains within myself. No more would I tolerate toxicity disguised as family duty. Lily's safety, her happiness, her growth, they came first above all else, no matter the cost. That week blurred into a whirlwind of purposeful action, each step a brick in the wall I was building to protect Lily and ensure Samantha faced accountability. Monday morning started at the police station, a cold, fluorescent-lit building that felt worlds away from our cozy home. I filed a formal report against my sister for assault on a minor, detailing every horrifying moment. The officers were professional but empathetic, taking close-up photographs of Lily's unevenly shaved head and gently recording her account of being held down against her will by her own cousins while Samantha wielded the clippers. Lily sat quietly beside me, her small hand in mine, as she recounted the fear in a voice barely above a whisper. As we left the station, she looked up at me with those big, trusting eyes. Will Aunt Samantha go to jail, Mommy? I knelt to her level. I don't know for sure, sweetheart, I answered honestly, smoothing her scarf. But what she did was very wrong, and there need to be consequences so she can't hurt other children like that. Our next stop was Dr. Bennett's office, a warm space filled with colorful toys and soft chairs designed to put kids at ease. The child psychologist, with her kind eyes and gentle manner, greeted Lily warmly, immediately admiring the colorful scarf I'd helped her tie around her head that morning to cover the stubble. That's a beautiful scarf, Dr. Bennett said with a genuine smile. It really brings out the sparkle in your eyes. Lily managed a small, tentative smile, the first one I'd seen since the incident, and it lit a spark of hope in my chest. For the next hour, Dr. Bennett spoke with Lily alone in her playroom office, while I waited in the reception area, my mind racing with worry. When they emerged, Dr. Bennett invited me in for a quick discussion, leaving Lily to draw pictures in the waiting room with crayons and paper. She's experiencing significant trauma, Dr. Bennett told me frankly, her tone compassionate but direct. Being physically restrained by family members she trusted, having her bodily autonomy violated in such a cruel way, and being filmed during that vulnerable moment, these are all profound betrayals of trust that will take time to heal. What can I do to help her through this? I asked, fighting back the tears that threatened to spill. My voice cracked slightly, revealing the depth of my own guilt for not protecting her sooner. You're already doing it, she assured me, placing a reassuring hand on my arm. You removed her from the harmful situation immediately, you're holding the perpetrators accountable through legal channels, and you're seeking professional support right away. Now, Lily needs time to process, consistent routines to feel secure, and lots of reassurance that she's safe and loved unconditionally. Dr. Bennett recommended ongoing weekly sessions for Lily and even suggested joining a support group for children dealing with family-related trauma. She also provided practical resources for helping Lily prepare to return to school, including tips on addressing potential teasing. Children can be cruel about appearance differences without meaning to, she warned gently, but they can also be surprisingly adaptable and supportive if guided properly by adults. That afternoon, buoyed by Dr. Bennett's guidance, I met with the principal and school counselor at Lily's elementary school. The meeting was in the principal's office, a bright room with student artwork on the walls. They listened as I explained what had happened, their faces growing horrified with each detail. "We're so sorry your family went through this," the principal said, shaking her head. "We'll do everything we can to support Lily's return." They immediately offered concrete help, a stark contrast to the betrayal from my own family. "We can arrange a class discussion about respecting differences before Lily comes back," the counselor suggested, jotting notes. "It'll be general without singling her out, to prepare her classmates to be kind and supportive." Principal nodded. "And we have a strict no bullying policy here. Any child who teases Lily about her hair or anything else will face immediate consequences, including parent involvement." Their empathy and action plans felt like a lifeline, reminding me that not all adults failed the vulnerable. By Wednesday, after a few days of building her courage at home, Lily felt ready to return to school. I'd bought her a collection of colorful scarves and hats, letting her choose what made her feel comfortable. To my surprise and delight, her best friend Zoe showed up at our door that morning, her own head freshly buzzed short. "My mom said I could do this to show Lily she's not alone," Zoe explained, beaming with the pride of a true friend. "Do we match now?" Lily's eyes filled with tears, but these were happy ones, full of gratitude. She slowly removed her scarf, revealing the growing stubble on her scalp. "We match," she confirmed, reaching out to hold Zoe's hand. In that moment, seeing their solidarity, I felt a surge of warmth amid the cold aftermath of betrayal. While Lily was at school, navigating her first day back with Zoe by her side, I met with Megan, my lawyer friend, in her cozy downtown office. We sat with coffee as she reviewed the police report. "This is a solid start," she said, nodding approvingly. "But I strongly recommend filing for a temporary restraining order against Samantha right away. Given the evidence and what happened, any judge would grant it without hesitation." I hesitated, thinking of my parents. What about them? They seem more focused on protecting Samantha than helping Lily heal. Megan considered this carefully, tapping her pen. "Unless they've made specific threats or shown intent to harm, we don't have grounds for a restraining order against them. But remember, you're Lily's mother. You have every right to limit their contact completely. You decide who has access to her life." By Thursday, the ripple effects of the incident had spread far beyond our family circle, further than I'd ever imagined. My phone rang with an unfamiliar number while I was folding laundry. "Is this Teresa Williams?" a professional woman's voice asked when I answered. "Yes." "Who's calling?" "My name is Rachel Gonzalez. I'm a reporter with the Daily Chronicle. We've received tips about an incident involving your daughter and your sister that's gone viral online. I'd like to get your side of the story for fairness." I froze, my heart dropping. The last thing I wanted was media spotlight turning our private trauma into public spectacle. "I have no comment," I said firmly, my voice steady despite the panic rising. "And I'd appreciate it if you respected my daughter's privacy. She's a minor who's already been through more than enough." Rachel's tone softened, sounding genuinely sympathetic. "I understand completely. But you should know the video has over 50,000 views already. People are outraged, calling your sister the haircut aunt from hell. If you want to control the narrative at all or protect your side," I hung up before she could finish, my hands shaking as I immediately opened social media apps. To my horror, she was right. The video had exploded, shared across platforms with hundreds of outraged comments condemning Samantha's actions. While the wave of public support for Lily was touching in its way, the thought of thousands of strangers witnessing my daughter's most vulnerable, terrifying moment made me feel physically ill, like our pain was now entertainment. Called Megan right back, my voice urgent. Can we get the video taken down somehow? We can certainly try, she replied calmly, already thinking ahead. I'll draft and send cease and desist letters to the major platforms immediately, citing child privacy violations and abuse content policies. But once something's out there online, I know, I sighed, the weight of it settling in. It's never really gone for good. That evening, as I tried to push the worry aside and focus on dinner with Lily, I received an unexpected call from Derek, Samantha's husband. I wanted you to know I've moved out, he said without any preamble, his voice heavy but resolute. What Samantha did to Lily was unforgivable. I can't be married to someone who would hurt a child like that. I was stunned, pausing with a spoon in hand. I'm so sorry, Derek. I know this must be incredibly difficult for you. Don't be sorry for me, he said firmly, a note of self-reproach in his tone. I should have stepped in much sooner. I've known for a long time that Samantha's behavior wasn't normal or healthy, but I kept making excuses, hoping it would change. Watching that video spread like wildfire online was the wake-up call I needed. I've been enabling her all along, just like your parents have. Before we hung up, he added one more thing. I've given a full statement to the police supporting Lily's account of what happened. I want to do what's right, even if it's late. Friday brought yet another surprise in the form of a visitor, Aunt Patricia, standing on my porch with a large wicker basket overflowing with Lily's favorite chocolate chip cookies and a fresh set of art supplies. I should have done so much more that day at the gathering, she said as I invited her inside, her eyes filled with regret. I should have found a way to stop Samantha before it went that far. You were the only one who helped us leave when things exploded, I reminded her, touching her arm. That meant a lot in the chaos. Patricia shook her head sadly, setting the basket on the table. It wasn't nearly enough. I've enabled your mother and Samantha for far too long, always keeping the peace instead of speaking up about what was wrong. She took my hand in hers, her grip warm and steady. But that ends now. I want you and Lily to know you have family who stands firmly with you, who knows the difference between right and wrong. Her words, so sincere and timely, brought unexpected tears to my eyes. Thank you, I whispered. That means more than you can imagine. The weekend unfolded with more positive developments that helped stitch together our healing. Kevin arrived from Seattle, checking into a nearby hotel but spending nearly every waking hour with us at home. Having Lily's father present, with his steady presence and playful energy, provided another layer of security and normalcy that visibly lifted her spirits. We decided to take a proactive step for Lily's confidence and brought her to a salon specializing in children's hair, a cheerful place with colorful walls and kid-sized chairs. The stylist, a warm woman named Trina with years of experience, gently examined Lily's uneven stubble. We can even this out into a cute pixie style that'll suit you perfectly, she suggested with enthusiasm. And I have some wonderful healing oil here to soothe your scalp and promote healthy growth. Lily hesitated, her small fingers twisting in her lap. Will I still look like a girl if it's short? Trina smiled reassuringly. Absolutely, the most beautiful, stylish girl in the room. She pulled out her tablet and showed Lily photos of female celebrities rocking short haircuts, explaining how femininity isn't tied to hair length but to how you carry yourself. By the end of the session, Lily looked at her new reflection with cautious approval, turning her head to catch every angle. It's actually kind of cool, she decided, running her hand over the soft, even cut. And it feels nice and light when you touch it. Kevin beamed at her. It shows off your beautiful eyes so much, he said. And it'll be perfect for summer swimming. No wet tangles to worry about. Sunday evening came too soon, as Kevin prepared to head back to Seattle. He promised daily video calls and fleshed out plans for Lily to visit him during summer break, complete with trips to the zoo and beach. As he packed, my phone rang again. It was Dad. Teresa, he said, his voice sounding older and more tired than I'd ever heard, like the weight of years had finally caught up. I need to talk to you, not about Samantha this time, but about me, about all the ways I've failed you and Lily over the years. The raw vulnerability in his tone caught me off guard. This was not the conflict-avoidant man I'd known. Dad, I've spent my whole life dodging fights, telling myself I was keeping the peace when really I was just being a coward, he continued, his words tumbling out. I let your mother favor Samantha without challenge. I let Samantha bully you without stepping in. And now I've let both of them hurt Lily because I didn't have the spine to stop it. I sat down on the edge of the bed, unprepared for this level of self-awareness from him. Your mother and I are in counseling now, he went on, separately and together to unpack all this. I don't expect you to forgive me right away or maybe ever, but I want you to know I'm finally facing the truth about our family dynamics head on. And I'm so sorry, Teresa, for everything I've let happen. By Monday morning, exactly 1 week after the devastating incident, the world felt fundamentally shifted, like we'd stepped into a new reality. As I helped Lily prepare for school, carefully adjusting her favorite beret over her fresh pixie cut, I realized we both stood a little taller, our postures reflecting an inner strength forged in fire. Path ahead wouldn't be smooth. There would be court dates to navigate, ongoing therapy sessions to attend, difficult conversations to have, and undoubtedly more ripples of family drama to weather. But for the first time in my life, I felt completely certain about where my boundaries lay and just how far I would go to protect my daughter. The toxic patterns that had plagued our family for generations had been broken, painfully, yes, but definitively and without regret. And from that painful break, something healthier, more resilient, was already beginning to take root and grow. 3 months passed in a blink, ushering in the warmth of summer and a sense of new beginnings that felt almost tangible. Lily's hair had grown out into a stylish shortcut that she'd decided to keep, even though it was now long enough to revert to her old braids if she wanted. I like being able to feel the breeze on my neck, she told me one lazy afternoon as we sat together on our back porch swing, swaying gently in the breeze. And I don't have to spend forever brushing it out every morning. The physical healing had come relatively quickly, her scalp recovering without issues. But the emotional healing, that took longer, unfolding gradually through our weekly therapy sessions. Dr. Bennett had been instrumental in helping Lily process her feelings of betrayal and vulnerability, guiding her through exercises that turned fear into empowerment. Meanwhile, my own therapist, Dr. Monroe, helped me navigate the complicated grief of setting firm boundaries with toxic family members. Grief. I had questioned during one of our early sessions, puzzled. But nobody died. Dr. Monroe nodded understandingly. You're grieving the family you always wished you had, she explained. The supportive mother who puts you first, the loving sister who celebrates you, the protective father who stands up for what's right. It's perfectly okay to mourn those lost ideals even as you actively build healthier relationships in their place. The legal consequences for Samantha had been significant, though perhaps less severe than they could have been in a different jurisdiction. The district attorney had initially charged her with assault on a minor, a serious offense given the evidence, but allowed her to plead down to a lesser charge in exchange for community service hours, mandatory anger management and counseling sessions, and a permanent restraining order that legally prevented her from contacting Lily or coming within 500 feet of us. The social media fallout from the video had ultimately worked in our favor in unexpected ways. After its initial explosive viral spread, the public outrage was so intense that most major platforms removed it swiftly, classifying it as prohibited content depicting child abuse. Samantha had lost any shot at new job opportunities in her field, and according to Dad's updates, she was struggling to find any employment at all with her digital reputation in tatters. She's finally facing real, tangible consequences for her actions, Dad told me during one of our careful, tentative rebuilding conversations over coffee. Your mother still struggles to accept that fully, but I'm holding firm this time. No more enabling from me. My relationship with Dad was slowly, carefully healing, like mending a fragile vase one shard at a time. He started coming by once a week to spend quality time with Lily, always calling ahead to respect my boundaries and never once pressuring me to reconcile with Samantha or Mom. His visits were simple but meaningful. He'd bring small, thoughtful gifts like fresh flowers for me to brighten the kitchen or new art supplies for Lily to fuel her creativity, and he listened more than he spoke, truly hearing us for perhaps the first time. I've missed so much by being passive all these years, he admitted one evening as he prepared to leave after a shared dinner of pasta and stories. I don't want to miss any more moments with you, too. Mom, on the other hand, was a different story entirely. After her initial desperate attempt to enlist me in helping Samantha avoid the fallout, she had retreated into a shell of wounded pride and self-imposed martyrdom. She'd send occasional texts lamenting how painful it was to be cut off from her family, but never once did she acknowledge her own role in the events or ask how Lily was coping and healing. That's a classic narcissistic response, Dr. Monroe noted matter-of-factly when I shared one of those messages during a session. When she can't control the narrative or the outcome, she flips the script to position herself as the ultimate victim. The healthiest and most unexpected surprise amid all this had been the strengthened relationships that emerged from the wreckage of the old, dysfunctional ones. Aunt Patricia had become a regular, welcome presence in our lives, dropping by unannounced with homemade baked goods that filled the house with comforting aromas and sharing stories from my childhood that painted a more accurate, unfiltered picture of our family history than Mom's selective, rose-tinted memories ever had. Your mother was always jealous of the natural attention you received as a child, she revealed one afternoon over steaming cups of tea in my kitchen. You were so outgoing and naturally charming, people just gravitated toward you without effort. Margaret craved that kind of easy charisma but never quite had it herself. So she poured all her energy and favoritism into Samantha instead, hoping to live vicariously. I nodded, absorbing the insight. That doesn't excuse what they did to Lily, though. Nothing excuses that, Patricia agreed firmly, her eyes fierce. I'm just helping you understand the broken patterns that ran through our family so you can make sure you don't repeat them with Lily. Kevin had also stepped up in ways I hadn't anticipated, becoming far more present and engaged in Lily's life despite the distance. He scheduled regular video calls that became highlights of our weeks, full of laughter and updates, and he started planning his work trips around, including visits to us whenever possible. The trauma of the incident had served as a stark reminder to him of how precious and fleeting childhood truly is, and he was determined not to miss any more of it than absolutely necessary. But the most profound and heartwarming healing had been in Lily herself. The terrified, sobbing child who had hidden under a blanket in shame had transformed before my eyes into a more confident, self-aware young girl than she'd been even before the assault. 2 months after the family gathering, she had approached me with a bold idea: to give a presentation to her class about bullying and resilience. Her teacher, Miss Rivera, had enthusiastically supported the plan, helping Lily craft a thoughtful, age-appropriate talk that emphasized standing up to mistreatment and the crucial importance of bodily autonomy. Even if someone is family, Lily told her classmates in a clear, steady voice during the presentation, they don't have the right to touch you or hurt you without your permission. And if someone does hurt you, telling an adult isn't tattling, it's protecting yourself and maybe even helping others. Watching her speak with such clarity and conviction from the back of the classroom had brought hot tears to my eyes. Out of such senseless cruelty had come this unexpected, precious gift: her early, profound understanding of personal boundaries and self-worth, lessons that many adults still grappled with daily. Instead of dragging ourselves to the traditional summer family reunion at my parents' house, an event that now felt like a relic of a painful past, we forged entirely new traditions that fit our redefined life. Lily and I, sometimes joined by Kevin when he could fly in, or Aunt Patricia with her endless energy, or even my newly supportive cousins Rachel and Michael who had reached out in solidarity, took weekend trips to the nearby lake where we'd splash in the water and build sandcastles. We hosted cozy backyard movie nights under the stars with popcorn and blankets, and we started volunteering together at the local animal shelter, where Lily found joy in caring for abandoned kittens and puppies. Families who treats you with love and respect became our unofficial motto, a simple phrase I repeated gently whenever Lily asked those tough, thoughtful questions about Samantha or her grandmother. On a warm August evening, as Lily's 9th birthday approached, we sat together on the front porch, making invitations for her party. She carefully wrote out names: her school friends, our neighbors, Aunt Patricia, her father, and several other supportive adults who had helped during the difficult months. "Mom," she asked, setting down her marker, "do you think people can really change?" I considered the question carefully. I think people can change if they truly want to and are willing to do the hard work. Why do you ask? I was wondering about Grandma and Aunt Samantha, she said. Do you think they'll ever change? The question pierced my heart. Despite everything, she still wondered about the family members who had hurt her. I don't know, sweetheart, I answered honestly. Your aunt is in therapy now, which is a good first step. But real change means acknowledging the harm you've caused, making amends, and behaving differently over time. Like Grandpa is trying to do, she observed. Yes, like Grandpa, I nodded thoughtfully. I'm not ready to see them again, she said. But maybe someday if they change for real. Her wisdom continually amazed me. That's very mature, Lily. And it's completely your choice. You don't owe forgiveness to anyone who hasn't earned it. Dr. Bennett says forgiveness is for yourself, not the other person, Lily said, returning to her invitations. But you still need boundaries. I smiled, recognizing the therapist's gentle guidance. Dr. Bennett is very smart. Later that night, after Lily was asleep, I sat alone on the porch with a cup of tea, reflecting on how much had changed in 3 short months. Pain wasn't gone. The betrayal still stung, and I still had moments of rage when remembering Lily's sobs. But those feelings no longer controlled me. Instead, they had transformed into determination to build a healthier life for both of us. My phone buzzed with a text from my father. Margaret agreed to start individual therapy tomorrow. Real progress. Thinking of you both. It was a small step, but perhaps a meaningful one. I wasn't holding my breath for miraculous transformation, but I was cautiously hopeful that some healing might eventually be possible. The journey wasn't over. There would be more difficult days, more healing to do, more boundaries to maintain. But we were on a new path now, one built on truth rather than pretense, on genuine love rather than obligation. And that made all the difference. As the summer stars appeared above our little house, I made a silent promise to myself and to Lily. We would continue to choose truth over false harmony, authenticity over appearances, and love over loyalty to toxic patterns. We would remember that standing firm in your values isn't selfish, it's necessary. And we would never again mistake cruelty for care, no matter how it was disguised. Family could be a source of deep pain, but it could also be recreated and redefined. We were living proof of that transformation, growing stronger with each passing day. Have you ever had to set difficult boundaries with family members to protect yourself or your children? How did you find the courage to stand firm when others pressured you to keep the peace? Share your experience in the comments below. And if this story resonated with you, please like, subscribe, and share it with someone who might need to hear that it's okay to choose well-being over toxic family dynamics. Thank you for being part of our journey, and remember that healing is always possible even after the deepest betrayals.